It is WrestleMania season. We're on the road to WrestleMania. We're about, 2.5 months away until WrestleMania. And this is a time to where WWE should be the most hottest, most interesting thing on TV, the most captivating television, the best storylines, like everything they have in their back pocket, any legends that they have on some kind of legend contract that they can have on weekly television. This is when they bring everything out to capture the audience, to make everything feel important, to make me, to make you, to make everyone care. But I'll be honest, I don't give a shit. Like, genuinely don't give a shit. Now they have time. Like, they can save this stuff. But as of right now, I don't care about any feud or anything happening going into WrestleMania. Starting with this. This has time to marinate. Jay versus Gunther. Let's give it some time. Let's see what they do. The build thus far, the two promos, they've been okay. Still, though, I don't give a shit. Like, it's very hard to sell me on this match when we've already seen it 3 times. 3 times on lesser important shows. He has always beat him, and it's like, this is the 3rd match. It's not like he's super great in the ring. It's not like he's super captivating or charismatic. You have 2 of these guys who feuded back and forth. None of the matches have been quite interesting at all, and yet you think it's going to be something that's going to capture people's attention to have this match again at WrestleMania. It's honestly just not interesting. I'm not interested in this. I've seen this already. What they've done thus far on TV has not captivated me to make me give a shit or care. Last year, we had freaking Drew versus CM Punk. We had freaking Drew versus Seth Rollins. That whole thing about Drew getting his main event spot, winning the big title at WrestleMania. I gave a shit about that. Although we saw Drew versus Seth quite a few times before last year's WrestleMania, the bill going into WrestleMania and how Drew changed his character, how Seth engaged, and how just all of that thing was unpackaged, and they gave us a great ending. Then Priest came in and cashed in his Money in the Bank. All that was great. All that felt important. All that just made me give a shit. Although this was match number 3 or 4 at WrestleMania, it felt important. It felt interesting. It felt engaging. Not getting that here. So it doesn't mean that multiple repeat matches can't work. It definitely can. I mean, we've had trilogies of WrestleMania. We've had people who have had WrestleMania main events back-to-back. Like the main event for WrestleMania for the past 2 WrestleManias have been Cody and Roman. I was way more hyped for the second main event being last year than the first one being WrestleMania 39. There's a way to do this to make it interesting, to make it feel important, and to make me give a shit. But they haven't done anything close to any of those other previous feuds, any other WrestleManias to make me give a shit. So this right now, just dead. Waste of my time. I don't care. I like Jay. Part of me does like Gunther. But the 2 of them feuding together when we've already seen this 3 times already. Waste of a WrestleMania card in my opinion. And quite frankly, if they wanted to go this route, they should have just made him win this at Saturday Night Main Event. Have him go in as the freaking champion and have someone new, someone different, someone that's not freaking Gunther to feud against Jay. But we're getting a repeat match we've already seen, and I just don't care for it. I don't care. They haven't done enough to make me give any level of shit, like at all. This is also another match that I don't give any level of shit about. This is a passing of the torch. This is a Charlotte Flair passing the torch to a young Tiffany Stratton, who is looked at as the face of the women's division on WWE. And obviously with Tiffany beating one of the legends of the women's division being Charlotte, it is going to put her over, and it's going to establish her at a very young and early age to be the future of the company when it comes to the women's division. Like, that's fine. I just don't care about the match. It's probably going to be a decent match. Charlotte Flair actually has really good matches at WrestleMania. Last year with her versus, was it last year? Her versus Rhea? Last year's match with her versus Rhea, great. Damn near 10 out of 10 match. Like, Charlotte could put on a good match. Tiffany can as well. Just don't care about it. Don't care about these 2 being in a ring, feuding or fighting or whatever. Like, it's just all so predictable. I know exactly what is going to happen. He is going to win. She is going to get over. Like, it's the most logical thing. If those aren't the outcomes, then it's even dumber. It's an even stupider outcome. Like, there's only one way this can go, and it's so freaking predictable. This is going to be a good match. We have Braun Breaker versus AJ Styles, but at the same time, like everything else, I don't give a shit. WWE is not doing enough for me to give any level of shit about any of these matches, including this one. This guy is barely on TV. This guy just came back. This guy hasn't wrestled in like a month. He was in the Royal Rumble, but that's about it. Doesn't defend his title, doesn't show up, and doesn't cut promos. Like when you have a champion that's not on TV and you're not seeing him on TV and they're not cutting regular promos, they're not wrestling, they're not being a wrestler, they're not showcasing the title, you just kind of forget about them. He doesn't feel important. Braun doesn't feel important. We know he's important. We know he's going to be a face. We know he's going to be one of the main eventers in the future within the company, probably winning multiple WWE championships, world heavyweight titles, holding this thing multiple times. He's going to be a big deal. Why on God's green earth is he not showing up to work? Why are you having weeks to where this guy is just not on television, just doing his job? Because of his lack of presence and because of him literally just coming back, which I do like AJ Styles, but he just came back. Like, I don't really care. I don't give any level of shit. I would care so much more, literally, honestly, if you put him in NXT and feud with the TNA guys. Send AJ back to TNA, and that's going to be one of the biggest pops of all time. Have him feud with freaking Joe Hendry and have Joe Hendry beat the biggest legend in TNA, AJ Styles. And that's going to put Hendry way over than he already is. That, to me, in my eyes, is a way better, interesting storyline that I would actually watch and be engaged in every single week than this. This spot could have been anyone. This could have been Penta. This could have been Rey Mysterio. This could have been freaking, I don't even care who. Like, Brutus Creed. I don't give a shit who's in this spot feuding with him. It doesn't freaking matter because there's no story. It doesn't feel important. This isn't bad, actually. In fact, we don't even know if this is going to be the match. I honestly would not mind, but Alexa Bliss, I believe she's on SmackDown. Is she on SmackDown or is she on Raw? I think she's on SmackDown. The Wyatt 6 is on SmackDown, and she fits quite well into the Wyatt 6. The whole Bray Wyatt lore and just everything about her returning with the gimmick and the doll. I actually think she's on SmackDown, and I think she's actually going to be involved in something else. Now, she's actually in the Elimination Chamber, and if she wins and picks Rhea Ripley, which obviously Rhea is the only person because Charlotte winning the Royal Rumble, picking Tiffany, automatically whoever wins the Elimination Chamber is going to be facing Rhea. So if she does win the Elimination Chamber and faces Rhea, then great. It's fine. Like, we can do that. And if that's the case, then honestly, like, Rhea is boring to me. Not interesting. Like, she's actually good, but for whatever reason, her return, getting this title back, she's just been dead. Just completely dead and uninteresting. So in this environment, I'd rather Alexa go over if this is indeed the match. There's no story here. There's nothing to go off of. I'd rather her get back involved with the Wyatt 6 and just kind of restart that because I actually do like the Wyatt 6. I like the idea of the Wyatt 6. I do like Bo Dallas. I just want to see that in that faction develop a bit more. I don't want them to just disappear and die and nothing happen with that faction. So I think Alexa Bliss can save that faction, but if this is the match, then I think Alexa Bliss goes over. I just don't really care to see it, if I'm being honest. This match, I don't care for it, like, at all. This feud, this triple threat feud started in the Royal Rumble with these guys having some back and forth in the ring. Some of them getting eliminated by each other. And then, like, Seth Rollins gives Roman Reigns 2 stomps. And he's now out indefinitely because he took 2 curb stomps from Seth Rollins, which we've seen people take way more curb stomps that showed up literally the next week on Raw. We've seen people take just the pocket pile drivers and show up literally the next week on SmackDown. But Roman takes 2 stomps and is out indefinitely. So they're really trying to build something over here. It's just not really sticking, I'm being honest. Like, I don't give a shit about it. I care about CM Punk out of all these guys over here. And if CM Punk's involved in anything, I do want CM Punk to go over. Because CM Punk has a natural built-in story that they're just not utilizing. This guy has just wanted 2 things. Win the Royal Rumble, main event WrestleMania. Didn't win the Royal Rumble. He can still main event WrestleMania. Obviously, he's going to have to be night 2 against Cody Rhodes, and that's if he wins the Elimination Chamber, which is unlikely because John Cena is part of that. And John Cena has a built-in story to it, chasing number 17. Just don't want him to win number 17 at WrestleMania. I'd rather CM Punk be plugged into that story. CM Punk beat Cody Rhodes, and Cody Rhodes just does something with the United States title, and then we can have a John Cena versus CM Punk feud going into SummerSlam. John Cena goes over CM Punk, win the title, get his number 17, and then we can have end of year Cena, just like Super Cena, just beating everyone until he decides to relinquish the title, and then we have a vacated WWE title where we have to establish a new champion. Like, just way better, way more important, way more interesting than this. So Overall, WrestleMania doesn't feel WrestleMania. I feel very bored. I feel very interesting, and they need to turn this up like a lot. So hopefully they do that with the coming weeks.